This show is made possible by support from landsharks.ca. Visit them for all your coin and swag needs at www.landsharks.ca. And by viewers like you. Thank you for your donations.
Treasure hunting on the Oregon coast. Caching with a geek and his monkey. Lots of events and a new contest. It's January 29th, 2010. This is Trackfiles. Hi there and welcome to Trackfiles. I'm your host, Ice and Rye. Trackfiles is a video podcast featuring caching news, upcoming events, major milestones, YouTube videos, and podcast rewind. My website is trackfiles.tv. My email address is geoiceandrye@iceandrye.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Trackfiles. And if you're a fan of the show, make sure you sign up on the Trackfiles Facebook fan page. So, what's new? Well, all the snow in the Prince George area finally came to an end, and we actually got a warming streak last week, and a lot of that snow disappeared. And basically the good news is caches aren't quite as buried as they were, and I got my driveway back. It's nice being able to get into my carport without having to worry about taking off the mirrors, because the driveway got a little narrow there, so it's all good. And actually, there were some new caches released in the Prince George area this past week, so there's more caches for me to go out there and find. I'm really looking forward to getting out there. But I got a real busy show for you guys today, so we're going to cut the small talk short, get straight into caching news. So for our first caching news article, we stay right here in the province of British Columbia, where we go down to the city of Nanaimo for the results from last week's BCGA elections. Congratulations go to the president, who is Tess Kelly, vice president, Magic Man 65. For treasurer, we have Kat Kogo, secretary, Cuttlefish, and the director at large is HB Van Isle Lady. Guys, congratulations on your elections, and have fun running the Provincial Caching Association. So for our next news article, I like to talk about a blog that I like to read. The blog is called The Geek Odyssey, the continuing adventures of a man, a monkey, and a mini. This gentleman creates comics about tech and caching featuring Cecil, the evil geocaching monkey bent on world domination, and has great posts and articles and comics on his website. And as usual, I'll have links to them on my website at trackfiles.tv. The guy does some amazing work. And actually one of his comics has been used as a hint in a puzzle cache. So check it out. So next we go to New Jersey, where we read in the NorthJersey.com website. North Jersey geocaching scene is blossoming. Slogging waist-deep through a swamp in Jefferson in search of treasure, Justin Robbins looked up from the muck for a second near his prize when he saw a bear about 100 feet in front of him. I tried yelling and waving, which usually makes a bear take off, said Robbins. In typical Indiana Jones fashion, he wasn't going to let a little danger get in the way of his quest, and he consulted his coordinates, found the hidden loot, and looked up again to see the bear advancing towards him. He quickly recorded his adventure in the treasure's logbook and put it back where he found it, while the bear continued to close in on the gap between them. Guys, a great story and a great article on a man's particular day of geocaching. And it's really quite the amusing story. As usual, I'll have links on my website, trackfiles.tv. Make sure you check it out. So from the Jersey Shore, we go to the Oregon Shore, where we read in the Curry County Courier. Having a ball in Gold Beach. 2 treasure hunts await you. Gold Beach, Oregon is just half an hour north of the California state line, where the mighty Rogue River meets the magnificent Pacific. Those of you who relish the idea of rising to a challenge and seeking the hidden and tracking down what others may have possibly overlooked is literally there for the taking. It's known as the treasure hunt, Gold Beach Glassball and geocaching season. It's 2 great ways to have fun for everyone, ranging from the young and young at heart to entire families, or even daring individuals who like the benefits of a neat hobby and exercise all rolled into one. So what these events are all about is the local tourism board has hidden bulbs all throughout the beach area. And if you happen to stumble upon one of these, you can take it to the tourist information booth and register to win some great prizes. Now for the geocaching connection, they've also placed geocoins in various caches around the area. And again, if you find one of these coins, you can take it to the tourist information booth, sign up, and possibly win some great prizes. As usual, I'll have links on my website at trackfiles.tv. Sounds like it's a great idea for some winter tourism on the coast of Oregon. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode's news articles. Let's get into YouTube videos. Time for a YouTube video. In this episode's video, we're going back down to Oregon to visit with my good friend Pablo Mac, where he had a major milestone. And how did he celebrate the milestone? Wow, that's Pablo Mac. Of course, he videotaped it. And it was his 2000s cache and find found just before the end of 2010. So Pablo Mac, congratulations on 2,000 finds. Here's another 2,000. And ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this great video, a major milestone, 2,000 finds for Pablo Mac on Trackfiles.
Hi, this is Pablo Mac. I'm making a cache run up to a milestone. I'm going to get 2,000 caches here pretty soon. Next cache, I'm here in Salem, Oregon, a couple hundred feet away. Looks like I'm going up there. Behind me you'll see the Oregon State Capitol building. The gold man looking on me. It seems like even when I get to urban caches, I've got to climb to new heights. 13 feet away, give or take. Where might this one be? Oh. This cache is kind of risky. Hope it doesn't drop on the ground. There we go. Off to the next cache. This is my new Garmin 62S. I'm really enjoying the satellite imagery. Yes, that's right, satellite imagery. I dreamed about that about 6 years ago, and now here we are today with static satellite maps. Someday though, how about live satellite maps? That should be next. Yeah, get some of that. I'm in Bush's Pasture Park now in the middle of Salem, Oregon. I just can't take too much asphalt under my feet. Little sprinkles coming down. And the cache description, I think from this side of the creek it says might need to cross the creek. And seeing as Pablo Mac is always the type that does things the difficult way, that's what I'm thinking I gotta do. GPS has pretty much taken me to this hollow tree. And I've looked, and I've looked, and I thought, well, maybe I'll go ahead and read the previous logs. DNF, 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 DNF. Last found in June. Right now it's December. I've been caching for 6.5 years. You'd think by now I would know. Could maybe check a few logs to make sure I'm not going after a cache that's just not here. So I guess Pablo Mac is gonna log a DNF here. Some days it sucks to be Pablo Mac. I've had a whole slew of DNFs around Salem today, and so I finally went for an LPC. Yeah, it's an LPC, but it's on the edge of a parking lot behind some bushes, so I'm not really as exposed as you are with a lot of LPCs. Under some tree cover here by a highway in Salem, real noisy. I just had to show you this cache container though. The hint says lift the lid a little bit. When you do, the container pops out, and there's a sweet cache container. It's got a magnet. Awesome cache, Ken Squatch. I'm at a special location. I don't know if you can read the wording inside there. I'm at the Garmin facility in Salem, Oregon, looking for their cache. Oh, spoiler alert coming up. Welcome indeed. This is Pablo Mac. Stay safe or keep on caching.
So thanks to Pablo Mac for that great video. And hey, if you'd like your video featured on an upcoming episode of Trackfiles, email me, geocaching@com. Give me the link to where I can find it on YouTube, and it might show up on an upcoming episode. So speaking of video, how do you like the video an upcoming event? Well, there's tons of them coming up. Let's check out this episode, Event Planner. Trackfiles Caching Event Planner. All these episodes are scheduled for next Saturday, February 5th, 2011. First off, we go to Turkey for the Istanbul February 2011 event cache, hosted by RandomTox. From there, we go to Wales for February Frolics, hosted by Wright and Main. From there, we're going to head over to Virginia. We're going to do a little Jimmy Buffett at an event called Changes in Latitude, hosted by Taxman. From there, we really are going to change our latitude, go all the way down to Florida, where we will find M&M 209, Great American Pie Event, hosted by M&M Melted. From there, we head on over to Texas for the Super Geo Bowl Flash Mob at Cowboy Stadium, hosted by Zeppo Cruise. From there, we head up to Canada, Ontario to be specific, for Sweep Hurry Hard, or as we say here in Canada, Sweep Hurry Hard, hosted by Weezer. From there, we go to the Energy Chinese Lunch, also in Ontario, hosted by Energy. From there, we go to Saskatchewan for the Cracking of the Da Vinci Code, hosted by Our Canada 110. From there, we come back to my hometown of Prince George for the Prince George Cachers Winter Coffee Break Meet and Greet, hosted by the PG Cachers. So there you go, some of the many events scheduled for next Saturday. As usual, I'll have links to all these on my site, trackfiles.tv. And as usual, if you have an upcoming event you'd like featured on the podcast, email me, geocaching@com. So, now that we got your travels plans set, let's find some podcasts to listen to on those long flights. All right, time for Podcast Rewind, looking back at this past week in geocaching podcasts. First off, we start with Cache-Maniacs, where Daryl and Dree interview Gianster98 of Miami, Florida, who would like to cache in Antarctica and hit the International Space Station. Next we go to Geocaching Podcast, Gaming Events, where they talk with Finding Fraggle Rock and Serenity Now about their world-famous geocaching gaming events. So folks, as usual, I'll have links to these podcasts on my site. Check them out and make for some great listening. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode of Trackfiles. I hope you enjoyed. Before I go, just a couple quick notes. First off, shout out to Landsharks for their continuing support of the Trackfiles podcast. Make sure you visit them at landsharks.ca for all your coin and swag needs. Also, have to thank all the financial contributors to the podcast. Folks, without your contributions, this podcast would not be possible. And if you'd like to donate to the podcast, it's very easy. Just visit my website, trackfiles.tv, and look for the PayPal buttons on the right side menu. So in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another episode of the Trackfiles podcast. No, it's not. Wait, there is more. It's time to introduce my new contest. Yes, folks, I've now introduced a new contest, and it's called the Trackfiles Photo Challenge. And it's very simple. I've created a user group on Flickr that's open to the public. All you have to do, submit your favorite caching photo. And starting in 2 weeks, which is February 12th if you're watching this, I'm going to go through there, pick a favorite photo, you win a coin. It's that simple. So if you have a photo, submit it to the group. If you're not a member of Flickr, you will have to sign up. It's a free membership. It doesn't cost anything. Upload your photo, and then from there, you can submit it to the group. So the contest is open to anybody. Again, submit your favorite geocaching photo, and starting on February 12th, I'm going to give away some coins. So, in the meantime and in between time, that really is it. Another episode of the Trackfiles podcast. So, until the next episode, submit your photos. Cache on.